Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, and the new Powerpuff Girls, among others. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hello.
Today, Delaney and I will be discussing the latest two episodes of the new Powerpuff Girls reboot, ManUp 2 and Viral Spiral. ManUp 2 still Manning or something like that? Yeah. Viral Spiral aired tonight on Cartoon Network. ManUp 2 aired, I believe, last Monday for no good reason. And we cover new Powerpuff Girls every other week here on the Overly Animated Podcast. You can check us out at overlyanimated.com, and you can search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. Let's get right into it. Spoilers for ManUp 2 and Viral Spiral. I think Viral Spiral actually does have spoilers for once on the show. Something happens. So, Delaney, general thoughts on anything, these two episodes? Yeah.
Well, so I actually watched the episodes out of order, which I think isn't fair to ManUp 2 because Viral Spiral is so much better than ManUp 2.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel bad because it was like, I just can't enjoy this episode as much because it's not as good as Viral Spiral. But, even though, I kind of like that we have this villain who's, like you said, literal embodiment of toxic masculinity. Also, this episode just, got even more ridiculous. Also, it's interesting that Buttercup, is kind of the focus when we have this villain. I don't really know what that means, or if there's a particular reason why. We've only had two, so, it's not like we have, mounting evidence or anything.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any deep meaning behind it, but... Yeah,
also, I didn't catch that it was a heavy metal detector until it started playing heavy metal, and I was like, oh, that's what it is.
Oh, that was a very crucial part of ManUp 2, yeah. But what do you in general? What high on? So you seem high on Viral Spiral and decent on ManUp 2.
ManUp 2 is fine. I think it's better than the other ManUp episode.
Yeah.
It's just bottle caps and rescue. I don't know. It was just good. I liked it. Also, it's the last line in the episode just really cinches why do I bare my soul to you, Bubbles? That's just so great. So good. And Bubbles being ridiculous and who is it? Who is the villain? They're playing it up so hard. It's really funny.
Yeah. Man, I think ManUp 2 better than the original, but it's hard to talk about it when we just had a absolute gem air tonight in Viral Spiral.
Everything about Viral Spiral is just so good. Everything in this episode is such quality.
I think this might be my favorite episode of the show. One of my favorite TV
I knew
episodes
it would
of the
be.
year.
Your favorite is into computers. Dylan, your life just got made. Your life, can your life get better after this, Dylan? What episode could be better than this for you? I don't know. Is there a better one for you?
This is at least half the Dylan episode, right? Bubbles,
everything Dylan wants.
Bubbles is the best, and Bubbles codes and makes games and stuff. It's
you and Bubbles
the best thing.
Could talk about coding. What Dylan, your life just got this new path just opened up.
It's the best thing. Come on. Obviously, this whole episode is a super unrealistic portrayal of everything, but it's still pretty great. And obviously, I love what this is for Bubbles' character, and for this is such a great representation of why the show's incredible. Just young girls can do anything, message, etc., and it's really good. And I don't think this is the type of thing the original show would have done, and that's why the show's great. And it's also this episode's just very emblematic of this entire new series. Very modern, very not afraid to make modern jokes. I'm sure people are gonna get pissed with Bubbles making a meme generator. It's so good though. Come on.
Who would have Bubbles in the old show, she's just cute, and we're so clearly we're obliterating characterizations from the old show in such a great way. ManUp 2, Bubbles is who is the villain? Blah, 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 the sign's right there, Bubbles. But then she can code. This is just so great. It's just so wonderful. And it's so there's so many messages in it. It's not just for young girls too either. It's just because you're not maybe you're kind of oblivious, but it doesn't make you an idiot or it doesn't make you stupid. There's just so much here it's just a gold mine of just wonderfulness. Like,
Also
it's so
empowering for floaty people along with young girls. Yes, I agree.
good. Yeah, like so
Yeah, I
great.
mean, the Viral Spiral is an episode which features Blossom getting excited at the prospect of Bubbles being a software engineer. So this is like obviously my favorite thing ever.
Good.
My background, I'm a software engineer, so seeing this is like
You
the
didn't
best. Yeah, in case you know. And I mean, I want to talk about the portrayal of coding. I'm going to establish the realistic coding portrayal for television. On the most unrealistic side, you have whichever CSI whatever. You can find this on YouTube, but the clip is one of them's coding and they're just like mashing the keyboard and it's like we need to go faster. So then a second one sits down and they like type on the same keyboard at the same time in order to go faster. It's like the best thing. So that's on the unrealistic side. And the realistic side of the scale actually is Amazing World of Gumball. And I don't watch the show, but they have there's
I've seen this.
there's one clip on YouTube of the bunny girl or whatever, and she's just saying completely accurate stuff about coding and stuff like that. So that's the, and I would say no. Look, I'm not like a hacker or like make games or anything, so I don't have all the expertise. I would say this episode probably lies towards the unrealistic CSI side on this scale. I would say that's probably true. Certainly Bubbles is I mean, they're going inside a computer, but ignoring that, the terminology used, you know,
they're going into the internet, the center of the
this
internet.
was very Fairly Odd Parents, that one special, right? Like,
yes, this was literally that episode.
Yeah, but it was great. So why are the Amoeba Boys in this episode? That's so weird. It actually,
I love it.
It really works.
Somehow.
I mean, they kind of like tell us why at the end when they say, we weren't cut out for this modern technology. Like, I guess that's what they're going for, that they're the opposite of that. That's just such a weird choice to think. We've never seen the Amoeba Boys on the show, and they bring them in, and I assume they're the exact same as what they were on the old show. That's how I remember them.
Yeah, this is literally the Amoeba Boys. Like, I got so excited when I saw them. I was like, oh my god, it's the Amoeba Boys. And then like it was so good. Also, this is what I want them to do. Like, if we're gonna have like, yes, let's have the old villains, and then I want them to like be like completely just like, I mean, Mojo Jojo's an exception because he's wonderful, but you know, just have them and be like, I don't fit here, and then leave. Yeah,
that is what that was. Do. Yeah,
it's flawless. Like, so like this episode honestly is just the biggest like suck it to like everyone who's like, oh, the reboot, like this is not the same thing, move on with your life.
Oh yeah, like
so great.
CO is gonna get so pissed at this. I can't wait to go watch their reaction. But yeah, it's interesting because they actually play the Amoeba Boys straight for like 30 seconds, and it's like, what you reading, boys? I can lower my whatever, right? Like with the salt, right? But it's but that's so weird because then they just subvert them the rest of the episode, kind of. So I don't really understand that. But at the same time, this is the best use of the original villains. Besides, I agree, Mojo, who they've incorporated really well. But
who's in this episode?
Who's in this episode, and also Fab as usual. But yeah, the use of the villain is like seeming out of place in the modern show is great, and also just being like influenced by a new villain is a really good thing. I think that's a really great way to tie in the old villains who can still have a presence in the show but shouldn't be dominating the action. You should be,
unless it's Mojo Jojo, that's okay.
He's not even dominating the action though.
Right.
I don't think. Yeah, I guess one episode with the old with like when they became old, right? Like he was doing that, but
he's allowed to.
He's allowed because they modernified him, right? So
he's great.
Yeah, but they bring in this new villain, Silico, who seems better, I guess, more suited for this show. But at the same time, we haven't really seen that much of her, right? I don't know.
I have no idea. Also, it kind of like this. Delaney's just talking about Teen Titans all day today, but like this very much took a turn. Like even from this isn't even like old Powerpuff Girls. Like this moment felt like am I watching Teen Titans? Like this like, you know, kind of silly stuff going on, and suddenly like it's very serious. Like we have a villain, guys. Like we have our and they're gonna come back. This is awesome.
Delaney's
like,
just very Delaney's just very excited for Powerpuff Girls versus Teen Titans,
So
Heroes versus
excited.
Heroes, coming out on June 30th at 6 p.m. I saw the
I'm so
preview. Yeah,
excited.
it was. Yeah,
My
it's.
brother's excited. Like we're gonna get popcorn and sit there and watch it. Like it's gonna be great. This is gonna be amazing.
I think we've established that we're already auditioning for the official Cartoon Network podcast, so we can say that I'm so excited for their stupid crossover, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what we could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have,
Yeah.
but we are excited, so that'll be interesting.
So,
Yeah. So yeah, Viral Spiral was we can discuss Silico and their use of new characters, new villains, and it's going to be interesting. I think this episode overall was really special. All the internet references I think were really good. And just tied in with the in-universe Bubbles game references were great. Any thought to the idea that Bubbles being a secret coder game maker is too out of nowhere?
no, I think
It's
it's
certainly
wonderful.
out of nowhere. Why don't Bob Blossom and Buttercup know that she
That's
is?
the best part. Like, well,
Yeah.
no, I think they do it really well in the episode where Bubble comes like, man, I really need to start paying more attention
Yeah.
to you, Bubbles. Like, that's like, okay, one, that's really sad. Two, that's hilarious. And then, like, that's so like I'm totally buying into this because Blossom and Buttercup do not pay attention to Bubbles at all. Like, Bubbles could go murder someone and they wouldn't know. Like, honestly, if one of the episodes Bubbles is like a deranged, like, I don't know. I mean, she wouldn't kill people, but like, I don't know, if she just went and like broke toys or something to get stressed out, wouldn't be shocked. Like, would not be surprised at all. Like, maybe Bubbles goes to the junkyard and just like destroys cars. I don't know. I'd buy it. Like,
Yeah.
Bubbles is frankly terrifying, and I buy it. Like, I'm 100% sold. Also, even talking about the age thing, my brother has a friend who's like, he's a genius and very young, and he makes apps and games and codes and does all this stuff. Like, I'm in. You got me. I'm sold.
Okay.
Like,
I'm super convinced that this kindergartner can make games like this.
I'm
but-
fine with this. Like, I'm totally okay with
I
it.
mean, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I agree. The not paying attention to Bubbles thing actually really works in show, and they've kind of established it. So I think
Also,
that's
like,
really good.
we've established like they're like, yeah, they're kindergartners, but then we also don't really know how old they are, and they're like super adult, and they like, and honestly, and for all we know, they're superheroes. Who knows what kind of like what's going on with their brains? Like, who knows? So I'm in.
You're in. Okay.
So-
Let's quickly go through the.
Also, and they've established it pretty well too with Bubbles that she just likes to make games. She does it for fun, and she's somewhat like, oh, the pressure. Like they just sold it so well. Like it's in character, and they kind of I don't kidify is a horrible word, but like they do like she does it for fun, and she makes games. Like
yeah, I do think
about-
that makes sense, and also kind of the message of Bubbles thinking that like her game coding is like lesser than when the reaction to hearing that in the initial episode is like that's like that doesn't like work, right? Like that doesn't like Bubbles, you can do more, obviously, like coding, like making games,
Right.
not that much different than coding anything else, and unless they're like making Game Maker or something. But Bubbles is like they like had the green on black code at one point in her eyes. But yeah, so I think that really works. It was a confidence thing. It wasn't an abilities type thing.
Yeah,
and
it was just she didn't think she could. And also Bubbles, I mean, we've had this before. Bubbles doesn't take like, I mean, her and Blossom have had a few exchanges where like Blossom is like Blossom like thrives under pressure. Blossom is just like, and Bubbles is like, can we just have fun for 5 minutes? Can we? And it just all just makes sense.
It's
like,
really good.
hello.
It might be the best episode of the show. I'm not sure.
I agree.
We'll get into it. Anyway, let's quickly go through specifics of Viral Spiral, and we'll talk about ManUp 2. Bubbles game Baby Bunnies, and the whole thing with the Mommy Bunny, which they bring back. Bubbles made, I love to make games. Made the Mojo meme generator, the Pug Your Mug app.
Oh man.
Okay.
So great.
It would make more sense if all of these type of apps were being made by 5-year-olds, but Bubbles, I didn't know you could program. Yeah, but I can only make silly stuff like games. You can be a software engineer or work for NASA, says Buttercup says Blossom super excitedly. I love that.
Yeah, like
NASA's
work
like-
for NASA.
Yeah, it's a game too, but with like human lives at stake. Yeah, good job, Blossom.
Bubbles is like, can we chill? Can we not?
Yeah, Amoeba Boys. This new new villain Silico in the shadows. We don't really get to see. I'm gonna call this person her. That was my interpretation, but we'll see.
Okay, I have
Uh,
no idea. Honestly, wasn't I was just like, what are you? Who are you?
yeah, we don't even know
By
if.
what are you? I meant, are you a robot? Are you a person?
Yeah,
Like,
it
I
might
don't
be.
know if
Yeah,
I'm
this
human
might be a
or
robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wipe out the entire internet. Blossom. I wish I could fly on a Triceratops in real life. Bubbles. One day, Blossom. One
The
day.
look on their faces, just so good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Uh, the Amoeba Boys go into the internet and they're like changing all the stuff. They make Frowny Cat happy. Pretty good.
Yep.
They make the mayor buy a ton of cotton swabs. Used cotton
You
swabs. Yeah. They
important
make a
detail.
video keep buffering. And
That was my favorite, making it
yeah.
just keep up. And it was
And,
Mojo's video. It's even better.
yeah. Mojo, I pay good money for high speed internet. And they take a pie from an old lady baking a pie and then they throw it into Morbucks, who's doing her eyelashes like on stream. That's like the most modern actually. Like that's like a you now type
Yeah.
thing, which is like way newer than me, and I'm pretty young. So I think that's pretty cool that they know that type of stuff. And what else? I think that might have been it. What else we got? Then yeah, Bubbles is like freaking out about why no internet would be bad, but she's like actually explaining how it'd like kill the world, which is pretty funny.
It's so funny because like she's like, I didn't put them in the game, and she like immediately knows what's going on, and just and it's really funny like in comparison to ManUp 2, where Bubbles is just like oblivious the whole time, but then this one she's just like, you know, the internet and like and in this one, Buttercup and Blossom are like trying to keep up. They're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like it's nice to see these different like
Yep.
it's because she's interested and I don't know, it's nice, like I really like it.
Yeah, Bubbles was very confident at times, and it was really nice to see her exchange with the Triceratops exchange with Blossom was pretty notable in that regard. I think just she seemed very confident in one day. Well, yeah,
Okay.
lose all special weapons and baby bunnies, and then that's what it takes to get them. I like how they're just still invested in the game, even though Bubbles made it. Like I feel like they would get turned off from that, but no, they're just still liking it. So,
Which I love.
hack us in there. It can. It's advanced programming. They're like, call the professor, and he sets the computer on fire. Typical.
I loved it.
I was like, why would Professor know computers? And yes, he does not.
Yeah,
so that's
he does
good.
not. No.
Because this professor is a construct of late 90s, right? So this is he would not. And they've kept him like that, so I like that.
It's
It can't get you out of the center of the internet. That was a weird plot device that they threw in, but
I don't like well, just all of it. Like we have to have Tron plus Fairly Odd Parents.
yeah, this is the same construct in Fairly Odd Parents, I assume. Yeah, they like Buttercup like appears weird, and Bubbles like, "Oops, forgot the comma."
That was pretty good. I like that.
Criticism: I would have preferred if this was forgot the semicolon. Would have been more accurate coding, but I'm sure there's a language where comma is also accurate in this anyway. Not whatever. I get into that. Couldn't program in your powers. Another weird specific plot device. They go into Friend Book.
The spirit world.
And yeah, like the spirit world is literally the spirit world. What do you think of them in Friend Book? And then there's like an article about that, and then there's like a Bubbles in a chat window, and then there's like
I loved it.
There's also like trending articles on the side, and like it's all great.
I really like. I think the part that really sold it for me was like the chat Bubbles, like, and like she was talking, but then you could read it. Like it was just good. I really liked that part.
Yeah, them in Blossom and Buttercup in an auto tune video.
Because we have to have our rapping, like that has to be there.
They're in there, and the Amoeba Boys call them the Powerpuff Girls, which is that the actual thing from the old series that they called them that potentially, right? I don't remember.
Well, I don't know if that like, even if it's not in the old show or not, it's like
it's very much in the spirit of the characters, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then it's like, no, it's autocorrect Boulevard. Like, yes, okay,
which is even better.
Yeah. Internet trolls, and one of them's like, I made $6,000 working from home. Okay. Okay, this show. Okay. Think of it like a game. The Rainbow Trout Blasters. Buttercup, have I told you how much lately how much I love you? And Bubbles like, nope, you never say that. Hee hee. Like,
She's
okay.
just so cute.
I like
Made me
Bubbles. Like, on one hand, that's really cute. On the other hand, that's Bubbles like basking in for once.
Yeah,
Buttercup being appreciative and stuff.
good.
The Amoeba Boys breaching the firewall, them just jumping over it. Pretty good.
Also, like the computer goes, danger, danger.
Yeah.
What?
End of the game, and that's it. And then she puts in the mommy bunny, and then the mommy bunny just eats them. Like, what? Like, what even was that? Because shouldn't she have just done that with anything? Why does it need to be this supposedly cute mommy bunny at the end that eats them? But that's
Because it
why it
has
was
to be
great.
like the game.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta think
guess
about
so.
it like the app.
I guess, but I thought that was really good. I'll forget it. We ain't cut out for this modern technology stuff, boys. And then Silico at the end, to the thing that was supposed to leak their net, it releases whatever, and yeah,
Nanobites or something. Who
I
knows?
don't even know. So interesting. So quick email from our one listener, Steve, who says, didn't Viral Spiral, that is the mystery villain. I'm kind of it looks like I'm kind of right about the seasonal arc villain. We don't know if Jemica is involved, and as goes my theory, I thought she was working for a sorcerer. This villain is the exact opposite, a tech villain, but it is still possible. You never know, though. If Jemica is not involved with this villain, I think it'd be cool if she redeems herself to help take this guy out. Heck, I would love it if Powerpuff Girls had an alliance. It would build this guy up. If the Powerpuff Girls need help in an alliance, perhaps Jemica, the Derby Taunts, the Spider Lady that dated the Professor, and maybe even some of the villains like Morbucks, Mojojo, this mystery villain messed with them in this episode. So what do we think of all of our recurring characters plus the old villains teaming up to take out this new villain?
I mean, I'm about this. Like, I feel like, I mean, not necessarily all of the old villains, but I think it's always an interesting, plot device, and it's very much in the spirit of superheroes and very comic booky, like in DC, you have Brainiac, who all
Okay.
heroes and villains team up to take him out
Okay.
because he's a threat to everyone. So it'd be interesting how they play it this way, especially in this modern Powerpuff Girl setting that we have, presumably that Silico is threatening literally the entire internet, which is what happened in this episode. As we can see, Mojo Jojo is very invested in the internet, and we could see that maybe like everyone's like, this would be bad.
Yeah.
And that it would make a lot of sense, and maybe it'd be ridiculously silly, but I would buy it. I'd be okay with it.
We will see. Is Jemica working for? We talked last week about 2 weeks ago. Jemica could be a part, like a henchman for a larger villain. Is Jemica working for Silico?
I can't really, see this. We have like this archaeologist kind of character. I mean, she could be working for him. I mean, I don't know, but I mean,
it doesn't.
really
It's not
really
thematic.
well.
Yeah, it doesn't thematically mesh. I agree. So probably not. Last thing, let's rank the new major kind of side characters. We have Pack Rat, we have Silico, we have Spider Girlfriend. I don't remember her name. We have Jemica, and that might be it. I think.
Yeah.
Is there a fifth, or are those just those? Or the Derby Taunts. Okay. Who's your fave out of those 5?
That's really hard. I mean, it's probably the Derby Taunts, but I like.
Give me Jemica and give me the Spider Girlfriend. Those are my favorites so far.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, all of them are fine. I mean, honestly, I'm fine with anyone but Pack Rat.
Is last, yeah.
Anyone but Pack Rat, honestly.
But everyone else has been good. Silico, we haven't had enough time with yet, so we'll see. Okay, let's briefly talk about ManUp 2. It's them at the beach. We have our beach episode for the Powerpuff Girls. Does this count?
They're adorable swimsuits.
Yeah, adorbs. I assume this is Bubbles. Castle. I watched you just watched this. You can help me. Castle Fluffer Noodle is officially open. Is that Bubbles?
Yeah.
And then Blossom, good location, low property taxes. This
she has like a little realty sign.
Yeah. This will sell easily. Blossom Realtors.
So
yeah, that was the best Blossom gag of the 2 episodes. It's great. Buttercup's heavy metal detector. Don't you people recycle? Buttercup getting. I like little tidbits of Buttercup like getting like doing like good aspects of Buttercup, like
yeah.
Like just because she's can like get upset and isn't like as super positive doesn't mean she's like not a good person, right? So I like right. Aspects like this.
Really like just dings that guy in the head with the can.
Yeah. Buttercup's Bottle Cup Collection app. What was your read on that? Was that an app?
No, like she has all of them. Like she's collected all of them, but like that's the last one she needs in her collection.
What was
It
she
could be
storing
maybe
them
kind of
in?
like a geocache kind of thing.
Okay.
Like, like, oh, I've been to this one.
To me, it looked like an app, but at the same time, like, how is she storing the actual bottle caps in the app, right? So
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't like.
confused.
I mean, she could have them and still be logging it online. Like there are things like that you can do. So
It's Soup's rare. What do you think of
soup.
Soup's?
Love it. That's good stuff. I'm about it.
Who tries to belly flop?
No, she tries to belly flap.
Yeah, and ouch, and then they laugh. Yeah. Mayor, the water's gone. What sort of criminal mastermind could have done such a thing? I'm afraid this case is unsolvable. Who's that? That's
Bubbles.
Bubbles, just being oblivious the entire time. There's the arrow
Yep.
pointing down. Yeah. Then he's who, and then she just like doesn't remember who he is, right?
No,
Like,
it's so good.
That's great. Yeah.
No, I love it. Like to me, he's like a super forgettable villain. Like this is good. I like it.
Oh, we should have probably ranked him in our recurring characters.
Oh, we forgot it. Look, so like we literally forgot about Memphis.
Yeah, I think he's better than Pack Rat. Like I think that's
he's better. He's better than Pack Rat.
Yeah.
He doesn't make me like he makes me uncomfortable, but not in the same way that Pack Rat makes me uncomfortable.
I think this character is like good. I think they're clearly trying to do something with him. I think that like he's supposed to be representative of like toxic masculinity. I think the only hang up is that they play him for laughs a lot, and so it's kind of like you're supposed to be laughing along with him. So it's a little bit of diluting their message, I think.
Well, I don't know. I mean, granted, it's also different watching from like our perspective because it's like when I laugh at him, it's because he's ridiculous. Like I don't know if I really laugh.
Yeah, it's hard to tell whether you're supposed to laugh at or with, but I think
I don't really know.
I think he's supposed to be funny. I don't know though. You're right. His ridiculous cabin with his mighty lawn, his manly army, hogs on hogs, logger jacks, some British guys. Why'd I hire them? We are an economic power. Like that was my favorite joke. Like some British guys. I was a big fan of that. Map, look what I can do. Call me Captain Bubbles. Oh yeah, Bubbles with the Bubbles is the best. She shanty desert be a kind of sea.
Like the hat just immediately make like I just everything.
And then Blossom's like, desert be a kind of sea. Yeah.
Can you argue with that, Blossom? Can you?
Found the bottle cap, doing the weird faces. Finds the bow and perfect 3-pointed pirate hat. Oh, it's Blossom and Bubbles. Yeah.
So good.
Took them, but Bubbles really stand out in these two episodes. I was all aboard the Blossom's the best character train. I don't know. I'm back on Bubbles now. So
they're all fabulous. Like they're just so great.
Also, Buttercup was really great too. These two episodes. So I will see.
I mean, because honestly, I really do think that's where the old series kind of failed, in that you're kind of like weren't really like they were individuals, and you could tell them apart, and you're like, oh, Bubbles would do this, Blossom would do this, but like it's really like they shift perspective a lot, and they switch who the focus is, and I think they really have. I mean, they've fleshed out the Powerpuff Girls at last, and like it's like Buttercup is my favorite, but I'm not going to say that like she's objectively the best, because she isn't. They're all three fabulous.
Yeah,
and I think they've done
a good job of
show failed.
Yeah, consistent characterizations among all of them. That's what the show is specialized in, is their characterizations for sure.
It's wonderful.
Pretty cool, right? Are you kidding me? That was amazing. I think that's Bubbles, right? Like buying into that. Like, okay. Bubbles, stop supporting the bad guys. Tractor, race car, whatever he's in, it's ridiculous.
It's a lawnmower, Dylan.
Oh yeah, lawnmower, not tractor. Yeah, okay. You can insult my notes from a few days ago. I have Buttercup in my notes. Interesting. British guys throwing croissants. Yep.
Yep.
Pretty great. Shave, coin. Yeah, all this. Boom, lawn. Look who finally showed up. Focus on the right things. What are the leather jackets? I don't remember.
It's because when Buttercup shows up, she's wearing a leather, like she had taken like a leather jacket and like put like war paint on.
Yeah, what does she say that elicits Bubbles? What is Why do I bare my soul to you, Bubbles? What did she say before that? I don't remember.
No, it's because she's like, oh, I'd focus on the important things, and Bubbles is like leather jackets.
Oh yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, that was a great line at the end. That might have been the best Buttercup line of the series.
I think it is.
Yeah,
like,
it's really good.
Is.
Yeah, to me, standouts this episode: Bubbles with the pirate stuff, the British guys, the royalty stuff in the beginning, and Buttercup at the end. That's a lot of stuff, and I also thought the villain was fine. Like, I think it's a good episode.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good episode. It's just like in comparison to Viral Spiral,
yeah, which is like the best thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so, right. Like it's like.
Okay, yeah, I'm still very high on the show. Good stuff. Next 2 weeks, Bubbles of the Opera and Sister Sitter. Those are the next two. Before the week after that, of course, is the aforementioned crossover. So
I am ready. My body is ready for the crossover.
We are. If you're looking for our Super Pro Cartoon Network discussion on which characters we'd like to see interact, you can check out 2 weeks ago's podcast. We don't need to rehash that. But
no, we don't.
Okay, I'm Hysen and Delaney Stovall, overlyanimated.com. Check us out. Subscribe to our feed, our Powerpuff Girls specific feed. This weekend, Voltron podcasts all the time, all of the episodes this weekend. Check it out. Going to be exciting. Overlyanimated.com, iTunes. Subscribe to us on YouTube, iTunes. Give us iTunes reviews. Very good. And overlyanimated.com or patreon.com/overlyanimated if you want to support us. Thank you very much to our patrons: Shayna, Mitch, Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, and Catherine, aka Hannah, Fever, Mitch, Conan, Beatrice, Nate, Fillion, Buzz Like Your Mailman, Rich Rose, Johnny, Brian, and Cook Gap. A lot of podcasts coming up. Check out overlyanimated.com. And thank you guys for listening. Give us your feedback on Powerpuff Girls. We're going to get a lot of feedback on this, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.